What's up, guys? Ravenous here, coming at you with my first ever AI-assisted video, and my first ever Minecraft video. Today I'll be showcasing my OneBlock island on my favorite server, HylexMC. The server link is on screen now. So this right here is the server hub for HylexMC. It's not the biggest hub, but it's pretty cool, and the smaller size makes it easier to get where you're going. Taking a look around, you can see there's some pretty cool builds packed into this small island hub. This server has a variety of game modes available. Gens here is like a tycoon-style game mode. Box PvP, I'm not really sure about. Redstone PvP, the featured one is a practice mode, I believe. Sky PvP, OneBlock is where I play exclusively. Sky Mines and Survival. Knockback Free for All and Lifesteal is a popular one. And finally Parkour with a sweet Mario skin. You can also get to the modes with the compass, so let's jump right in. Now this text box asks if you want to accept a custom texture pack. I suggest you do, otherwise you'll only see a bunch of paper for quite a few items. I was originally going to start the tour on the bottom layer, but I decided to start where it all began. This is my starter house right outside the actual OneBlock. This table is one of those custom items that requires the texture pack to see. Now let's get on with the tour and step outside. A custom banner featuring a certain leaf. And here's the actual block that started it all. If you've ever played OneBlock, you know what to expect. If not, it breaks but gets replaced with a new random block. Originally, I had a small farm here, but I recently moved the spawners down to my mob farm. And here's what's left of my food farm after it somehow got destroyed. I haven't had the time to replant, but I'll probably build it back bigger and better anyway later on. A tiny little cactus farm. My personal favorite KFC, an auto chicken cooking farm. A small double-stacked sugarcane farm. If you're familiar with collectors, this server has them available and I make good use of them here. I have a small little park area here for aesthetics with a nice little pond. I followed a tutorial for the Herobrine statue here, but I can't remember the YouTuber's name or I'd shout him out. Down here you can see my moneymaker, an auto farm for tropical fish. I have over 9,000 tropical fish spawners, no meme intended, LOL. I have a system where I'll pay someone to AFK at the spawner. I pay at a rate of $1 million per 1 million fish spawned. Here you can see I have 720,000 fish, and they sell for about $3.2 million. Let's continue to the nest area, the market square. This is my personal shop. I have a few different items for sale that you can't buy anywhere else. Most of the items in here are more of those custom items that would appear as paper if you didn't accept the texture pack. I have a few villager spawners in here, but they're a little more than decoration as I can't seem to make them change profession. And out here is all just for looks until I can figure out how to get villagers to actually do trades. Here you can see another villager that I've tried turning into an alchemist with the brewing stand, but to no avail. This here is a stairway that I built from the bottom of the OneBlock's build limit, all the way up to the top of the build limit. This is the bottom layer of my island. This is where my mob farm is. Looks like I forgot about a mob spawner down here. I'll move him later, it's only a single llama spawner anyway. Back here I've built a tiny little hut when I first got my hands on the cherry blossom trees. There's nothing in it, but I thought it was a cool little addition to have down here. Unfortunately, this server, at least in OneBlock, doesn't allow the nether portals to work, but that didn't stop me and a bunch of others from trying. Even if you stand in the portal for a while, it will eventually break. It goes back to normal after 2 minutes, but still won't let you pass. Anyway, on to the next feature of the bottom level. This here is my wall donors. Anyone that has donated to me and the building of my island has gone up on the wall. These guys with the glow squid ink are some real legends. They've all donated so much. But on to the main course, the mob farm. I've basically followed the design from one of my top donators, but it looks like I missed the cap block. I'll have to fix that later. The wither roses kill the mobs with little to no effort. Just AFK and profit. It is a bit noisy though, so let's move on. Not wanting to always take the stairs, and not always having the temp fly, I made a minecart roller coaster to get me from level to level faster. I would have taken it up, but it seems to be on another level at the moment. In any case, let's take it up to the next level from here so you can see it in action. This is quite possibly my favorite level of the island, and definitely the one I've spent the most time building on. To start out, we have this little Asian-inspired guardhouse, sort of separating the other areas of the island from this secluded slice of escapism. A quick shot of the stairway to heaven, and then in we go. Over here is a small little barracks for the non-existent guards. And then we turn our attention to the inner gardens. I had this idea about halfway through building my island of turning this into Aincrad from Sword Art Online. This is my crappy rendition of Silica getting caught by the plant monster on floor 35 while trying to sane Pina, her dragon familiar. This, however, is definitely the piece de resistance. This castle took several days to build, and that's following a tutorial from the YouTuber Cortazarino. All the Japanese-style building in this area are based on his tutorials. Granted, there are several differences as I didn't do an exact copy, but it's close enough that you probably wouldn't be able to spot the differences. One easy difference is this door, however. He left this back area empty, and granted mine is empty right now too, but I do intend to make use of this space later. But let's continue. A lot of work went into this design, and I can't thank him enough for sharing his tutorial. It's an absolutely beautiful castle. Continuing to the second level of the castle, you can see that it's still a bit bare. Cortazarino has a furniture tutorial for finishing the inside, but I've spent so long here in the past few days, I didn't want to get burnt out. I'll furnish it later. Anyway, I'll just let this play a bit faster so you can still see this castle's majesty. Arriving at the top floor, it's just a single room, and I'm not sure whether to make it my bedroom or a trophy room. Leave your suggestions in the comments. Heading outside, there's a small balcony all the way around the castle. The roof is also a difference between Cortez's tutorial and my castle. I honestly was getting tired by this point and just finished it off in a similar style to the lower level's roof. I believe his version had another triangular eave like below if you're interested. The guardhouse was also based on his tutorial, and I also plan on doing the trade house and pagoda tutorials here as well. This little pond and zen garden were a part of his chunk build tutorials, but I just looked at them for reference and didn't follow the tutorial when building. Moving on, however, I have some unfinished levels that I plan to work on next. This glass observation area I'm a bit unsure of what to do with, but I'll think of something. This next level, however, I have big plans for. As you can now see, this is on the cloud level, and I plan to use it as fog for a creepy graveyard maze level. Moving on from here, you can see there's still space for another level or two between here and the top level up there. I'd like to make the Coliseum from level 75 of SAO where Corito fought Heathcliff. Finally, upon reaching the top level of the island, you can tell I built the stairway before knowing what I was going to do with the island, as I had to build a stairway back down to allow for enough space for what awaits. I still haven't finished the inner stairway, though it's pretty close. But coming out from the stairway tower, you get a glimpse of the final area of Aincrad, the Ruby Castle. There was no tutorial for this part, and I could only find a couple of reference images for this, but all in all I believe I did a decent job. Unfortunately, there's no blocks good enough to quite capture the Ruby Castle's splendor, but as you can see, I've adorned it with ruby gems. It's still a bit bare on the inside as I don't know what to put here. Maybe I'll make a statue of a final boss later, but for now all I've got is a suit of armor. Anyway, that's it for my island tour for now. If you've made it this far, why not like the video and give me a follow? See you next time!